Welcome back to Everyday English with Johnny. You are now listening to our special series called Learn English Through Story, where we improve English naturally through real-life stories full of emotions and lessons. In today's episode, we will follow the journey of Anna, a 37-year-old woman who went through love, betrayal, pain, and finally, hope. As you listen, pay attention to the flow of the language, the expressions, and the feelings behind the words. This is not just about learning English. It's about experiencing life through stories.
My name is Anna. I am 37 years old. I live in a small town called Willow Creek. It is a peaceful place with tall trees that whisper in the wind, colorful flowers in every garden, and friendly people who wave hello. The river flows gently through the town, sparkling under the sun. I have 2 children who bring joy to my days. My husband is Robert. He is 42 years old. We have been married for 14 years, and our life together started like a beautiful dream. When we first got married, I felt like the happiest woman in the world. Robert was kind and loving with a smile that lit up the room. He surprised me with little gifts, like a handmade card or a cup of my favorite tea. He held my hand when we walked down the street. He whispered sweet words in my ear. "You are my everything, Anna." I smiled and thought our love would last forever. We were young and full of hope. We lived in a cozy house by the river. The sun shone through the windows every morning, filling the rooms with warm light. The kitchen smelled of fresh bread, and the living room had soft chairs where we sat together. After 1 year of marriage, we had our first child, a baby girl named Lily. She was sweet and curious, with big eyes that looked at the world in wonder. She loved animals and stories about faraway places. I stayed home to take care of her, rocking her to sleep and singing soft songs. Robert worked at a store in town. He sold tools and helped people fix their homes. He was good at his job, and he always came home with stories to share. 2 years later, we had a son. His name is Jack. He is full of energy, always running and exploring. He climbs trees and asks 1,000 questions. I spent my time with the children. I cooked healthy meals, read books to them under the big tree in the yard, and played games like hide and seek. Robert worked long hours, but he always came home with a smile. He hugged the kids tightly and kissed my cheek. "How was your day?" he asked. In those early days, life was good. We were tired from the busy days, but our hearts were full of love. The children made everything brighter. We had family picnics by the river on sunny weekends. We packed sandwiches, fruit, and cookies. The children laughed as they chased butterflies and splashed in the shallow water. Robert and I sat on a blanket, watching them with happy eyes. "This is perfect," he said, putting his arm around me. I nodded and rested my head on his shoulder. Yes, it is. I believed our family was strong. Nothing could break us. Our love felt like a warm blanket on a cold night. But slowly, things started to change. It happened so quietly that I didn't notice at first. Robert began staying at work longer than usual. He said, "The store is busy. I need to help more customers." He stopped coming home for dinner. He ate alone at the store or with friends from work. His smiles became rare. He looked worried or distant, like his mind was somewhere else. I asked him many times, "Are you okay? Is something wrong at work?" He replied quickly, "I'm fine, just tired from the day." I wanted to believe him. I thought it was just a hard time at the store. Maybe things would get better soon. But it got worse. He forgot our special days, like our anniversary. He didn't call me during lunch anymore to say hello. At night, he turned away in bed, facing the wall. I felt lonely, like a shadow in my own home. I missed his warm hugs. I missed his gentle words that made me feel special. Our house felt empty, even with the children's laughter filling the rooms. One evening, I was cleaning his work bag to help him. I found a phone message on his old phone that he left in the pocket. It was from a woman named Sophie. The message said, "I miss you. When can we meet again? Can't wait to see you." My heart stopped beating for a moment. My hands felt cold and shaky. I sat on the floor and cried quietly, covering my mouth so the children wouldn't hear. Who was Sophie? Why did she miss him? Why did she want to meet? Questions swirled in my head like a storm. I waited for Robert to come home that night. When he walked in, looking tired, I showed him the phone. "Who is she?" I asked, my voice shaking with fear and hurt. He looked surprised, then he sighed deeply. "She's a friend from work. It's nothing. We just talk about store things." I didn't believe him. His eyes looked away from mine, like he was hiding something, but I said, "Okay." I didn't want to argue in front of the children. Lily was 6 and Jack was 4. They were so young and innocent. They needed a happy home with both parents. I didn't want to break their little world over one message. Days turned into weeks. I tried to act normal for the sake of the family. I smiled for the children when they showed me their drawings. I made their favorite food, like pancakes with berries. But inside, I felt broken into pieces. At night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking about Sophie. Did Robert love her? Was I not enough for him anymore? I cried into my pillow so no one could hear my sobs. The house felt cold and quiet. The river outside seemed sad, its water flowing away like my happiness. I looked at Robert during dinner, and he seemed like a different man. He was like a stranger, sitting at our table, eating in silence. One sunny afternoon, I took the children to the park to play. The sun was bright, and the air smelled of fresh grass. I watched Lily swing high and Jack slide down the slide. Then I saw an old friend from school. His name was Ben. He was pushing his little girl on a swing nearby. He waved at me with a friendly smile. "Anna, is that you after all these years?" he said. I smiled back, feeling a little warmth in my heart. "Yes, Ben, it's good to see you." We talked while the children played together. He asked about my life, my family. I said, "I'm okay, busy with the kids and home." But my voice cracked a bit, and tears came to my eyes without warning. He noticed right away. "You don't look okay. If you want to talk about it, I'm here." His eyes were kind and understanding. I shook my head. "Maybe another time, thank you." But his words stayed with me like a gentle hug. Someone cared enough to ask how I really felt. That night, Robert came home late again. He didn't say much, just ate his food and went to bed. I sat alone by the window in the living room, watching the stars twinkle in the dark sky. I felt so small and alone in the big world. I thought about Ben, not in a bad way or romantic way. I just missed feeling seen and heard. Missed feeling important to someone. A few days later, I saw Ben at the market. He was buying fruit and bread. I said hello and we talked again. "How are you really doing?" he asked with that same kind voice. Tears came to my eyes once more. "Not good," I whispered. "My marriage is hard right now." He didn't push for details. He just said, I'm sorry, I'm here if you need a friend to listen. We started meeting sometimes after that, at the park with the children or at the cafe for coffee. Nothing wrong happened, just talks. He listened to my stories about Lily's school and Jack's funny adventures. He made me laugh with his jokes about old school days. "You are a good mom," he said one day. "You are strong, Anna. Don't forget that." No one had told me that in a long time. I felt warmer inside. I started to smile more at home. I felt like myself again, the woman who loved life. But one day, Robert found a note from Ben in my coat pocket. It was a simple note from the cafe saying, "Hope your day is better. Take care." Robert got angry when he saw it. "Who is Ben? Are you talking to another man behind my back?" he shouted, his face turning red. I looked at him with tears in my eyes. "He's a friend from school. I needed someone to listen to me. You stopped listening a long time ago. You are always away." Robert's anger faded a bit. He sat down on the chair, looking tired. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't know you felt so alone. I thought you were okay." We talked that night for the first time in months. He said, "Work is hard. I feel stressed, but I miss us too. I miss our family." I wanted to believe him, but my heart was hurt. It didn't open easily. "What about Sophie?" I asked. He looked down. "It was a mistake. I was lonely too." I cried, but we kept talking. After that talk, Robert tried to change. He came home earlier from the store. He helped with the dishes after dinner. He played with Jack, kicking a ball in the yard. He read bedtime stories to Lily. These were small things, but I saw them. I felt a little hope. One weekend, he said, "Let's go to the river like we used to." We packed food and blankets. The children were excited. They ran and played in the water. Robert held my hand as we walked. "I love you, Anna," he said softly. I nodded. "I know." But inside I felt confused. Was this real change, or just for a short time? Then something big happened that changed everything. One rainy night, Robert had a car accident on his way home from work. The road was slippery, and his car slid into a tree. It was not too bad, but he hurt his leg and had a big cut on his arm. He called me from the hospital, his voice weak and scared. "Anna, please come. I need you." My heart raced. I rushed there with the children, leaving them with a neighbor. He lay in the bed, looking small and pale. Tears were in his eyes when he saw me. "I thought I might lose you all," he said, holding my hand tightly. "I love you. I'm so sorry for everything I did." I held his hand back. "I'm here," I said, tears running down my face. In that moment, I saw the old Robert, the kind one who brought me flowers, the one who cared deeply. When he came home a few days later, I took care of him. I made soup with vegetables. I helped him walk with crutches. Lily drew pictures of hearts for him. Jack told him funny stories to make him laugh. Robert said thank you a lot. He looked at me with soft eyes. "You are my rock, Anna. I don't know what I would do without you." Slowly, my heart started to warm up. The accident made him see what was important. One evening, we sat outside on the porch. The rain had stopped, and the air was fresh with the smell of wet earth. "I was wrong," Robert said. "I talked to Sophie. It was a mistake. I ended it for good." I cried again. "Why did you do it? Why did you hurt me?" I asked. He held my face gently. "I felt lost at work. I was stressed, but I know now. You are my home. You and the kids are everything." I didn't forgive him right away. Forgiveness takes time, but I said, Let's try to fix this. We started small steps. We talked every night after the children went to bed, about our days, our feelings, our dreams. He asked, "What makes you happy, Anna?" I said, feeling loved and seen. He nodded. "I will show you every day." He brought home flowers sometimes, not expensive ones, just wild ones he picked from the field. He helped Lily with her schoolwork, teaching her numbers. He played ball with Jack, running slowly on his healing leg. Our house felt warmer, like the sun coming out after rain. But I still had sad days. I thought about the pain from before, about the message from Sophie, about the lonely nights when I cried alone. One day I met Ben at the park by accident. He was there with his daughter. He smiled. "You look better, Anna," I said. "Things are changing at home." He nodded. "I'm glad. You deserve all the happiness in the world." I thanked him. He was a good friend who helped me when I was lost. But I didn't need him like before. I had my family. I started doing things just for me to heal. I walked by the river alone in the morning, listening to the water flow. The fresh air cleared my mind. I bought a journal with pretty covers. I wrote my feelings every night by the lamp. Today I felt hope in my heart. Today I felt hurt, but I let it go. Writing helped me like a friend. It made me stronger. Lily saw me writing one night. "Mom, what are you doing?" she asked with big eyes. "I'm writing my thoughts," I said. "It makes me feel better inside." She hugged me tight. "I love you, Mom." Months passed like pages in a book. Robert kept trying hard. We had a family trip to the mountains for the first time in years. We hiked short paths through green trees. We saw birds flying high and flowers blooming. At night, by the campfire, we roasted marshmallows. Robert said, "Thank you for staying with me, Anna. Thank you for giving me a second chance." I smiled. "Thank you for changing and seeing me again." My heart felt lighter, like a bird taking flight. One day I looked in the mirror after a shower. I saw a woman who had cried many tears, but also a woman who was strong and beautiful. "You did it," I whispered to myself. "You found your way through the darkness." Now our life is not perfect like a fairy tale. We have good days full of laughter and hard days when old hurts come back. But we talk about them, we listen to each other. We hold hands when we walk by the river. The children are happy and growing. Lily sings songs she learns at school. Jack runs free in the yard, chasing his dreams. Robert looks at me with love, real love that grew from pain. I learned something big from all this. Love can break like a fragile glass, but it can heal too if you give it time and care. Forgive slowly, like a flower opening. Trust yourself first. Be kind to your heart when it hurts. If you feel sad in love, like I did, remember this: you are not alone in your pain. You are strong, even when you feel weak. Take one small step at a time. Find your light inside. It will come back brighter than before. Thank you for listening to my story. It is full of real feelings, from deep sadness to quiet hope. If it touches your heart, please like, comment, and share. Tell me where you are listening from. More emotional stories are coming soon.